And we talked about a lot as a football team, in your sport, whatever it is, something's going on, it's for the collective good of the group. If somebody messes up, it's not time to yell at that person. It's not like that person on your team is intentionally trying to mess something up. They're giving it everything they have. And the thing is, they've got that same jersey on you do. So, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about it forever because you're going to hear it probably from everybody all day. And this is awesome. I'm sitting back here, I'm taking notes as well, wishing I had this opportunity when I was your age to learn from people. And to have a day just like this with people that are doing the same thing. So, Coach Stanley had a great idea. We kind of want to hear as a collective group, not just in your sport, but as a whole school, as an athletic group, how can we be more all in together? What would you guys like to see as a school going from one sport to the next? Some ideas that you guys might have. You guys be leaders right now in these 5 minutes that we're going to sit here and talk. Talk about things you want to see as a group. Talk about something you want to see from another sport. How can we be in this all together? Because like we said, we've got great athletes, guys. We're always going to have great athletes. Okay? This is, things like this are what give us that edge to take it to the next level. Okay? Because if we want to sit here, we have goals every year. Win games, win sectional championships. Now we're in a conference. Conference championships are going to be our goals. Okay? We need to start thinking bigger. Okay? And it's because we can do it. And I really believe in that. So, we'll open it up. You can go over notes with us right now. And then somebody, what do you guys want to see? What do you think we can do better as a school? If you want to start it off, go ahead. Somebody?
I think the thing for me from this discussions like this are don't give generic answers everybody's going to give. I mean, because that's every conversation we have, every meeting we have, every time we get together as coaches, we know the generic answers you guys are going to give. And I think Coach McCaslin covered those. I think what you need to do is sit back and I'm sitting back there taking notes as well. Reflect back on your notes you've taken. If you haven't taken any, you need to start taking some notes. I mean, you've heard from two great speakers. You've heard a lot of things that you really need to write down. Attitude and gratitude. Those are the kind of things we want to hear from you guys. What are you getting out of this? What are you so far with the speakers we've had? What are you getting that you can take personally? You can bring back to your team, that you can take home, that you can make a change in your life. Those are the kind of things we're looking for. So now's the time when, I talk all the time. Now's the time when you guys need to step up and say, hey, this is what we think. This is what I got. This is what I've gotten out of the day. This is what I'd like to change. This is what I think would make us better. Because we do this all the time as coaches. We sit around, hey, I always go to Mr. McCaslin. Hey, you got any new workouts? Got anything exciting? So what are some of the things you guys are getting out of this? What are some of the things you think changes a culture? Changes everything? Jordan.
Okay, well, in football, there's the guys that get all the credit for quick touchdowns, get interceptions, but then all the linemen are the ones that work twice as hard as us. And they don't get as much credit. So I think of all the maybe the star players and the best players kind of gave back to the JV players that worked them out every day, or the scout teams that helped them every day. I think that would help the team a lot because then the JV players would want the varsity players to succeed.
And that's like Coach Hall said. I thought it was awesome. The thanks. Constantly saying thank you to a spotter. I'm still trying to get there where I don't have to look at a guy and say, make sure you're paying attention while you're spotting. All right, let alone somebody turning around saying thank you to somebody who's spotting. Okay, that's awesome. Kelsey?
Coach Hall said something about stronger teams with better attitudes. I think that team building, not even just as a softball team, but maybe the softball team also doing stuff together, or putting stuff in the weight room for strong, to make their ability stronger on the field. So for girls, we don't have a lot in the weight room because it's all based on the guys. So we really put how girls can better themselves in the weight room, the goals that they should go after.
Can I tell a real quick leadership story while you guys are doing this? When I coached baseball here one year, and we won a sectional and got to play in the regional in Richmond. And some of you may have heard me say this before, if I'm ever in a practice and I hear somebody say, freshmen, get the balls, freshmen, put the balls up, freshmen, get the field markers. I would stop and say, why aren't the seniors doing that? Why aren't the seniors being the leaders and taking care of that stuff? And here's why I will tell you this. We won a sectional championship and drove to Richmond to play in the regional. When we got to Richmond, somebody said, "Where's the bat bag?" We went to play a regional without our bats. So we had to borrow bats from Richmond High School. And you know, you the guys that have played sports, you know what your bat is, right? You want to play in a regional with somebody else's bat that you've never swung or hit a ball with before? That's what we did. So I said, "Where's the bats?" "Freshmen, how come you didn't get the bats?" Bull crap. Seniors, you better get the bats and make sure the bats are on the bus. You better make sure the balls are on the bus. You better make sure stuff's put up so that you have it the next day. That's my little, you want to make the culture better? Seniors do the things that you think freshmen ought to be doing because they're freshmen. That's bull.
Hey, I'm gonna say something real quick to piggyback off coaches and off Coach Hall. Culture. It's kind of a word that's used a lot. People don't really know what it means. Anybody tell me what it means? What is culture? How do you define it? That's what I figured. Culture is a set of behaviors by an organization or a group. So every group, every setting, Shenandoah, basketball, volleyball, football, it's all you all have a definition. What defines you? What behaviors drive your team? So if you think about it as your team, whatever team you want to think about, you have a culture. It's there. It starts with leadership. It starts with your team leaders. And I'm not saying captains. I'm saying a leader. A leader drives the culture. The culture drives the behavior. Okay? Those behavioral skills stem from this group in here. What behaviors define your team? What behaviors define us as Shenandoah? I know there's negatives and positives. It doesn't have to be positive. Culture is not a positive thing. Culture is what defines you as a group. What behaviors do you consistently do? Do you talk about people and not to people? That's something to think about. Okay, so as coaches, if you have anything to say here, what behaviors would you like to see, not only from you guys or your teammates, but us as a coaching staff, the administration, anywhere? You don't have to answer now, but that's something to think about, because if we're all in this, all in together, then that is not just you and your team. That's us. We're always trying to get better, always. Okay?
Just some little things that we can do too as a school, more support for each other's teams. Not so much like, and I apologize to Seth too a little bit. I wish I would have got out and saw him play tennis. I told him, hey, it's hard. It's, you're playing at 4:30. I wish some of our guys would have went and watched tennis players. That's something as a school, it's not hard to do. You can go to another sporting event and watch your friends, your teammates, in another sport play their sport. That's something where we can get to. That's one of our goals, this spring, there'll be people at places. We'll get done lifting, we don't have a lot going on, boom, we're gonna go watch a sporting event together, as a collective group. Whoever's staying in the weight room doing whatever they're doing, we're gonna go to a game now. Okay, and support our teammates and players that we see. Okay, so that's just something I wanna see from everybody. You got nothing to do, Call of Duty can wait, whatever you're trying to do that evening, go support another program, because that's probably your teammate in another sport. Okay, with whatever it is. All right, so that's my 2 cents. Get up here and talk a little bit. Coach, you got anything else?
I really want you guys to take the time to find something to change today about yourself. Just find, we're bringing in these speakers that are, there's a lot of knowledge coming into this room today. There's a lot of knowledge coming into this room today. Find something. And today's not just about athletics. Today's not just about school. Today's about your life. Find something you need to change in yourself. Because if you listen to people talk, and you listen to people tell their stories, You know, I'm sitting there and talking, Taylor, when he was up here, you know, things to think about, I think about this. All he wanted to do was make the JV. That's all he wanted to do. That was his goal. How many kids here, honestly, when you find out you're on the JV are cool with that? How many kids that's their goal? I came into Shenandoah as a freshman, throwing 85, 86. All I wanted to do was play JV. All I wanted to do was wear a Shenandoah uniform. And I'm not sure everybody in this room can say that same thing. That's what I was working for. That's what I wanted to do. That was my goal. Those are the kind of things, you're not entitled to anything. And listening to Taylor was awesome, but that's one thing I picked up, is our kids need to be happy to be a part of a team and work hard on that team. And where you end up is where you end up. But take today, find something for yourself in one of these speakers. Something you can take out of here and say, that was worthwhile. That right there will change, even if it's for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, a day. Find something. You're going to hear a lot of good information. Take notes and let it all digest.
Thank you, guys.